Darryn Peterson is one of the best players in college basketball when he's on the court. And that's the thing. Recently, he hasn't been on the court much at all. Whether it was the cramps earlier in the year or the flu-like symptoms now, Kansas fans are starting to lose their patience, and we're starting to see a little bit of a pattern. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about everything we know so far with Darryn Peterson and whether this will keep on going into March. Darryn Peterson is one of the best guard prospects we've ever seen. He's a 6'6", 205-pound combo guard who attended prolific prep high school in California. He was born in Canton, Ohio, and he committed to Kansas in his senior year of high school. Darryn is all but certain to be a one and done, and he's a projected top 3 overall pick. People are saying he's the best guard prospect we've seen since Kobe Bryant. And this is why people are so outraged. It's not just Kansas fans, it's college basketball fans across the country. Because we're talking about Darryn Peterson, one of the best guard prospects we've ever seen. He's supposed to be must-see TV, except he's never on TV, it seems like. Against Arizona, UConn, and Duke, he sat out. Against TCU, he sat out most of the second half, and against BYU, he sat out all of the second half. Now, there's a lot to make of this, but if you're noticing, there's a little bit of a pattern going on here. Now, are a lot of people blaming Darryn Peterson? Yeah. But is there another Darryn that people are blaming? Yeah. I'm talking about Darren Matsubara from the sports agency Wasserman. Now, if you've been watching these games on TV, a lot of times when Darryn is cramping on the bench, they pan to his agent in the stands. And then when it gets to the second half, his agent is nowhere to be found. And like we previously mentioned, Darryn's going to be a top 3 pick. He probably will be the number 1 overall pick, and his agent knows that. And maybe, just maybe, his agent doesn't want to risk losing out on a massive payday. And the thing that sucks the most about this whole situation is right when we think we're going to get Darryn Peterson playing for 4 or 5 games in a row, something like that happened before the Arizona game occurs. He gets ruled out right before the game with flu-like symptoms. Now, we've seen the flashes of greatness. We saw it against Texas Tech. We saw it in the first half against BYU. But how can Kansas count on him in 6 straight games in March if they don't know if he can even play 2 straight games? So I think Bill Self has a dilemma on his hands. And quite frankly, I think this is why he's reaching the end of his coaching career, because he's probably getting sick of all of this. I think he either needs to tell Darryn Peterson to suit up and give this team everything you have for the remainder of the season, or to turn your stuff in and start to prepare for the draft. Kind of like Jalen Johnson did a couple years ago at Duke. It's not fair to his teammates what he's constantly doing this season, bailing on them 15 minutes before a game, and it's definitely not fair to Bill Self and the boosters that are dishing out his $3 million in NIL money. Now, we have to ask ourselves, would this be happening if it weren't for NIL? Now, this is really only a hypothetical, but there's a few things we could put out there. There's been some coaches that have come out and said they'd rather just recruit out of the portal because those guys are still trying to make it to the NBA. They have chips on their shoulders. Guys like Darryn Peterson could sit out their whole freshman season and be a top 3 pick in the NBA. So is it really worth it to go after a guy like Darryn Peterson when all it's really been is a massive headache for Bill Self? And I want to preface that this is not everyone. You look at BYU with AJ DeBansta, and he gives you a hard 40 minutes every single game. And same thing at Duke with Cameron Boozer. But then you look at guys like Darryn Peterson, and you ask yourselves, why do we even recruit this guy? So here's what I think is going to happen. I think Kansas is going to get a top 3 seed in March. I think they're going to win a few games pretty handily. And then in the Sweet 16 or Elite 8, I think they're going to be in a tight game, and Darryn Peterson decides he can't play anymore. He's going to sit out, he's going to leave his teammates out to dry, he's going to leave his coaching staff out to dry, and he's going to let the fans out to dry. And then the fans turn on him. He becomes public enemy number 1 in Lawrence. He can never return to campus, and Kansas fans will not claim him. So let me know what you guys think of this whole situation, and if there's an end in sight. Because in my opinion, Darryn Peterson hasn't given us a reason to believe there is. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We have new reactions every Monday and recaps, previews, and breakdowns throughout the week. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you guys enjoyed. CBB Today, I'm Spencer Ostroff. Peace.